Hello, everyone. I'm here back again to talk about our latest contest, which we have done in FlutterVikings. Before I start, let me quickly remind you who I am and let me talk about FlutterVikings and what we've done over there. So my name is Majid Hajian. I am head of DevRel at Invertase. Invertase is a company, if you are the like one of the newcomers to this live stream, a company that is building a lot of developer tooling, particularly for Flutter developers. We have Flutterfire, which is the known one. We have Zap, an online sandbox for experimenting with Flutter, and Melos, and a bunch of others. So let me quickly talk about the live stream today. And I have amazing friends in this show as my guests and also the winners of our contest. So, first thing first, it was about a month ago that we announced public beta of the Zap with this blog that you're seeing right now in the live stream. And shortly after that, it was FlutterVikings, and we thought that maybe we can run some campaign for FlutterVikings conference because we've been a sponsor, and one of our tasks from organizer was to build an activity for everyone, in person and online attendees. So we thought about the Viking competitions, building some kind of app with a Viking theme, or even if it's not Viking theme, it's okay. Just an app with Zap where you can share the code and we can see that. So we had two themes for this competition: building a game in Zap and building general application. It could be anything. It doesn't. Well, we had a lot of criteria here. It didn't need to be like quite big app. It just needed to work and be impressive. Depends on the time. Um, so let me also talk about a little bit about Flutter Vikings and what we've done over there. So in Flutter Vikings, in fact, we had a particular booth in one of the floors, which was the sponsor floors, and we definitely talked to many Flutter developers and definitely showed them what we're doing, and we got a lot of amazing feedback from in-person attendees. The conference generally was pretty crowded and very nice, and we really liked it. We definitely also have seen the Big Dash, which was also interesting. We took some selfies for sure. That was our attendance in Flutter Vikings. And for our particular campaign, in fact, we had some cool, prizes, which we thought that maybe it will encourage, developers to spend some time and build something amazing. This was, something that we never have done before, but we got a lot of amazing feedback. We've been overwhelmed with the number of submissions, and it was hard also to choose because many of them were very good. So I am now proud to announce the first three winners, well, the highest scores that we gave to their work. And there is also a link on each of these slides, which will be shared later in our social media and possibly in our blog. So you get an access to even source code. You see how they've done these great games. So generally, we have chosen three top winners. We had the first position, which we gave it to Shubham. and he's with me today, and we're going to talk about his game. It was really great. I will also demonstrate his game in the browser shortly after this announcement. We didn't choose the second position, but we chose two third position. We thought that that is because we thought that they are kind of equal, and in terms of scoring, and we decided to gave the same chance to both winner. And of course, a good friend of me, Lokash from um, the Flame Engine team, and with his game, which he's going to talk about that. He's today in the live stream, and I'll bring him up shortly. And the third one, Eric, another great friend of me from community who built an interesting game with Zap. So you may wonder now then, uh, what do they get? For sure, the first one will get this headset, and the next two-person will receive these gaming keyboards. Let me now introduce Shubham and Lukash and Eric. Hello, everyone.
Hello, my
Hi.
hello.
First of all, let me thank you for doing an amazing job. To just give an impression to our viewers right now, what you've done, I would really like to share my screen for a second and show them what you've done. This is the Bug Hunter, right, Shubham? So you
Yeah,
named it
yeah,
Bug Hunter. Well,
yeah,
this one also has a sound, which probably you don't hear it right now. You should definitely play that. It's very interesting and based on a true story. And I was um, I was actually playing this game for, I don't know, maybe sometimes hours. I was just hooked into it at some point. I just wanted to see what is going on afterwards and afterwards. It was a very interesting game. I really liked it. And definitely you spent a lot of time on this. Thank you very much for doing that. So I'm not going to play that right now. So definitely we're going to give this chance to our viewers and readers later to go ahead and play this game. But thank you very much for doing that. Another one was, well, this one from, I think, Lukash, right? So you made something interesting. First of all, it was in the beginning, I was like a little bit confused. How does that work? Like, what is this? But when I realized how it works, I was hooked into it. I just wanted to play with it. And I thought that, oh, this is very interesting game, definitely. Um, and another one that I want to show again, another one from you, Eric. I guess again, this was an interesting game, and in the beginning, somehow a bit confusing. Like, oh, what is this? Is why this is just rotating, and then after spending some time and playing around, I figured it out, and it was so amazing. So now let's talk about these games. Let's start with Shubham. So the Bug Hunter. How did you come up with this idea? How was the process of building this game? What did you do? Can you explain a bit?
yeah. So like this happened when like I got to know about this competition from one of Eric's tweets about it. So I think it was the week when we had the Flame Game Jam, and it was about to. I think it was already done, and like I was kind of um, unsatisfied with what I made for that jam, and then I saw this as an alternate opportunity to make something better. And like I was really struggling with the idea for this, and I was also reading a book called Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. It's about uh, the stories of some of the game development teams for some of the famous games, right? So how they created those, and like reading through that, I realized like it's very common to have bugs in your game, like the the process that goes behind making a game that's not as fun as it looks like. So that's from where I got like this idea. I won't spoil the um,
Okay.
like the small twist that it has, but yeah, that's how I got this idea. And uh, like the assets that were shared, like those were really like those fit the idea that I had in mind. So yeah, it all came together perfectly.
Interesting. So, how long did it take for you to build this game? And I guess you did it all in Zap because at some point I realized the links. I was actually chasing you, to be honest, from the beginning. See that you're forking. It seems
Yeah,
like something didn't work, and you had to fork your Zap and again do it something
right.
else.
Yeah,
Was it right, or how long
yeah.
did it take?
I think it took about a whole week, like working after hours, like after the my job. Um, but yeah, like I initially started with Zap, but yeah, occasionally to debug things, I obviously had to switch over to native ID. But yeah, most of this stuff was done in Zap, and like you can see, there are a lot of folks for that. So every time something broke, it was really difficult to track it back. So I just created a new fork and started working on that. I even
Yeah, I
reported a PR issue for the uh, forking thing, because I believe once you close the session, it didn't allow me to edit the same project. So that's why will see a lot of folks.
I see. Okay, so for those who are watching or later we will they will read the description or see the tweet. This will be the link to this Zap or to this game. So it's a short link, very simple. So you can just click or copy or like write it in your address bar and just hit enter and start playing with the game. You'll definitely learn a lot from the way Shopam has created this game as well. If you want to tell us, well, I'll ask this question at the end. Let me just go to the next winner. So, Lukash, would
Yeah.
you like to explain about your game? What is this?
So on the way back from Mayed's amazing conference, Flutter Vikings, and I call it. It was a lot of people organizing it, but really Mayed was the like core wheel in there. I took the train back to Sweden, and I had been keen to do something for this competition the whole conference, but I didn't have time because there was so many people to talk to and so much to do, right?
Yes,
So on the train, on the way back, I sat hungover for 6 hours and coded this. And it uses a new feature in Flame called raycasting. And the idea is that there are stars that are casting out light, and you are a snowball in the middle of the universe, and you have to hide from this light so that you don't melt. And you can hide within these boxes, and if the boxes are white, they are filled with snow, and you can grow a little bit bigger again. So that's
well,
pretty much the idea.
that's interesting. Have you played this one yourself?
If I have to blame myself, yeah, it's not very stable.
So no, that's not the point. The point, well, what I wanted to ask you is what was your score, like the highest score you got?
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe 2000 or something, I think. So
So
it's not
that's good.
not very high. I'm very bad at playing games actually. Like
You
Eric,
you just build them, right? You don't play them.
exactly. Yeah.
But this was interesting idea. I really enjoyed the game and the physics and the idea behind it, to be honest, which was very interesting. For those who are again watching us or would like to give this game a try, or maybe fork it and improve it, and send a PM to Lucas and say, "Hey, I improved your game, and now I have a better game." So
Do
version of your game. So they can do that probably. So
absolutely.
because in Zap it's possible to fork, like just hit this button and start forking, your application. But that's great. I'll get back to you with another question, which I have for all of our guests today. Let me talk to Eric too, because, well, he also made something very interesting, which I guess he would like to explain about it. Hi, Eric.
Hey, yeah, so I mean, I always love it like space games and like space simulator games with sandbox. Like I always play like Elite Dangerous and all those types of games, and I always wanted to try to create something for mobile for Flutter, like a 2D sandbox space game. And this is pretty much it. So I just got this. I tried making this type of game for a couple of times. I have a bunch of unfinished sandbox space games. And when I saw the Flutter Vikings competition, I said, "Hey, I think that's a good opportunity for me to had a we had a week to do it. So that's a quite a good amount of time. So I think I can get at least a prototype of it running, and it kind of went well. I think I had this small prototype, and it's you can navigate around, go to the places, mine some asteroids. So it was just, I mean, I love this kind of game, and I just want to build something that I like, and to have fun and join and participate in FlutterVikings a little bit. I wasn't able to go to the event, so I said, hey, it's a good opportunity for me to participate a little bit of the event and use this app and to know this tool.
But that's very nice. So one question for let me first think first. For those who wants to play this game or take a look at the like the logic behind it, the samples, the codes, and everything else, this is going to be the link now on the live stream. So very simple. Invertase.link slash. So you see JWWP, and then you can go to this Zap, maybe fork it, improve it, add more features, make a better game, and send a PM to Eric and say, "Hey, I built something better." So, one question for all of you. Let's start from Shobham again. I think you mentioned that you worked around a week on this project. So, was it any preparation before that, or anything that you needed to relearn, or I don't know, something that you didn't encounter or you didn't think about it, but you've been encountered that? That's also the same question for you two. You can think about it.
Uh, I don't think so. I used Flutter, Flame. Like both of those I have used before. I was familiar with them. Luckily, the interface of Zap is pretty similar to VS Code, so nothing new to learn there. The only problem I faced was probably with the limit on asset size. I think it's 512 kbs or something. And for the background music, I had to spend a lot of time to, find a music file which is within that limit. So that's the only like major problem that I faced probably.
Yeah, the music was interesting too, by the way. So I really liked it. How about you, Lukash? So, how long did it take for you to build that? Was it like overnight, just when you've been hangover, as you said?
Yeah, so I took the train in at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon from Oslo, I think, and I think I arrived at maybe 10 in the evening in Stockholm. So it was about 7 hours, and I think I coded pretty much all of that time. And yeah, I don't think I had that many problems because I had like very recently before that explored this raycasting API a lot, or I mean also built the API. So, and that is most of the features that I use in there. So I was quite familiar with what I was doing. So it was more a new experience to do it in SAP, but it worked very well. And yeah, I have some feedback for SAP too, but I guess that is already in a later question.
Yes, that's actually the last question. So, Eric, how about you? How long did it take? Anything that maybe you've been think? You said that you already had these kind of games, probably. So was it exactly the same, or you improved it somehow? So
Mhm. Yeah, so I think I work a little bit every time I had some free hours after work for the whole week. So I think I missed the first days of the competition because I was working on the that Flappy Bird sorry, not Flappy Bird, the Dino Run game for the app. So I missed the first days, but after that all of my weekdays I work a little bit on it. Uh, I've it about this being the same game, so it's very similar to many ideas that I had in the past. I just think I got a better structure this time, so I figured better ways to share state, like between the game and the widgets. I want to try to on this game to make a better communications between my UI, which I wanted to build all in Flutter, and my game. So I even got a PR for Flame from that game where you can make it easy to share your components with your widgets. So yeah, it's basically the same idea, but I think after so many fail attempts, I finally got a better structure now. And well, maybe I will continue working on this, and who knows if I can release that eventually.
oh, that's cool. And the last question for all of you. So you worked with Zap instead of your normal editor, perhaps, and you built the application. Is there anything that you want to tell us live? Like, we're not afraid of anything. We're here to improve for sure. So, like, anything that you want to share, you feel free to do so. So, any good experience or bad experience, whatever you want to say, let us know. Is like also tell me this one. Is Zap something that you may consider like continuously for building these kind of experimental things? Because, well, that's the idea behind Zap. So you experiment with things and make sure that you get everything in a way that you want, and then you can start building your application from, you know, from where you've been in Zap. So let's start with Shubham again.
Yeah. So it's kind of a tough choice. But yeah, like I would consider it only if I'm not doing a rapid prototyping. The only reason being, uh, like when I'm doing it natively, I can just save and it just hot reloads, which is not possible exactly on, like you'll have to deploy it and it takes a bit more time than it would do on a native ID. But other than that, I really like the portability of uh, Zap as a like a web app. Like I don't need to carry around my machine every time to make something. I can do it as long as I have a device which can open up a browser. So yeah, like I'll definitely keep an eye on the project to see how it grows. Yeah.
Thank you, Lucas.
Yeah, so I think my main thing is something that I think would be hard to build in there, but I really want Vim bindings because right now I have like AK built to escape in my normal ID. So now all over my code was like JK, JK, JK because I tried to go to normal mode. But other than that, I think it worked very well. I think split editor would be nice to have too, so that you can look at several files at the same time. And we have also seen, like in the community, so we have quite a big Discord community for Flame where people are asking questions, and people have started to put links that explain their problems to SAP instead of just posting the code directly in there. And it is so incredibly useful for us that are trying to answer the questions for them, because you can go in and run it and fiddle around a little bit with it instead of just sitting there in Discord and just reading the code and like, is this wrong maybe? And you can
Yeah, yeah.
try things out live and then write back to the person that's sent the question. You can just say, oh no, okay, you can just do this instead, and then they can see exactly what you've changed. It will be helping us a lot, I think, for that kind of things.
Yeah, but that's actually one of the main reason behind building Zap, to be honest. Like,
Mm.
so it's not about building the entire application in the browser. Well, but it's about like doing these kind of experiment things, making reporting, and GitHub issues, quickly checking something, learning also part of it. These are for that. Zap has been built for these purposes. Thanks for sharing, Lukash.
Yeah, thank you for building it.
Eric, how about you? We lost you for a few moments. I think we don't have your. Yeah, I think we
Look,
lost Eric
it's
probably.
figuring out his sound.
Yes, but that sounds good. So what we're gonna do right now? Well, I think it's pretty. Let me just make myself bigger. You see this headset, Chopin? This is going to fly to your house tomorrow morning, and hopefully you will receive it in a few days afterwards. So, drum roll, and thank you for doing this amazing job. And we appreciate the time that you put behind this game, and also the time that you put behind working with Zap and giving us great feedbacks. Keep doing the great things as you go. And this keyboard, I think it's also pretty uh, visible over there. This is a gaming keyboard. It's actually very nice keyboard. I think you're gonna love it. I've seen your space ship style keyboard, Lukash. It's not as good as that one, that one, but definitely you're gonna have a good time with this keyboard. It's fancy gaming when you're playing games. If you're even if you're not good at that, you can still play with that. So, but it's a good one. This is going to fly to your house again tomorrow. Hopefully, within a few days, you will receive that. If there's no problem with custom and toll and stuff like that. So sometimes thing will get stuck in those process. And you had a question from me, which I wanted to right now tell you and make you happy is that this is also kind of like a Swedish keyboard. So you have the extra character as you wish. So,
Oh,
yes. I think we lost Eric. Or maybe because of the connection. That is sad. Not a problem. But thank you very much. Eric also will receive the same keyboard as you do, Lukash. So hopefully he will enjoy that. Then thank you very much for being our amazing guest. I think we have Eric right now here if you fixed your microphone.
Yeah, my internet connection is so terrible. Sorry. I don't know
No
if
problem. I've been saying that you're going to receive this gaming keyboard. I hope that you're going to enjoy that. So
nice.
and we'll fly to you. And thank you for doing an amazing job on and spending some time giving us some feedback and using Zap. And please keep doing your great work on Zap and let us know what you think. All of you, thank you very much. Really appreciate having you here in this show. And please come back and show us more great things and share with our users and community. Have a good day, everyone.
thank you, Mayed. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Have a good one.
All right, but that's not it. So we've received so many other submissions. So it was not really fair to have only three winners. So we, in fact, chose 15 more submissions as a winner. However, we're going to send them only this box, which you see right behind me right now. And there are lots of them actually right now here. So this box contains Invertase swag, FlutterViking swag, and so many other things. Firebase swags that I believe you're gonna love them. So t-shirts, socks, mugs, and you count it. So all of you on this slides, 15 of you right now will receive an email or have received an email, and you need to send us the information that we asked you. And hopefully, you will receive your swag box next week as soon as possible. And the last thing I want to mention in this live stream, we're right on time, 30 minutes, is if you like Zapp, you work with Zapp, and you want to work on building these tools, we are also hiring right now a Zapp technical lead, where you can find the more information about that on our website on their careers page. So, with that said, I like to thank you for watching and choosing us right now, and I hope that you will have a great time. I hope to see you in our next competition, which will be soon announced. Stay tuned. So, have a good one wherever you are. Peace.